I also wanted to ask you about, in referencing the past year and the many learnings from it. I wonder what reflections you have and what changes you see afoot with regard to the future of work and how work is being done. You mentioned half your staff are in St. Louis, where you're headquartered. The other half are around the world and other places. Do you foresee a different way of working in the future than, let's say, January of 2020 before the quarantine, the pandemic and the quarantine began in earnest here in the U.S.?
I do. I think, again, cliched, I think, new normal or, I'll hear people ask, when are things going back to normal? I don't think they're going back to normal. I think that, our findings, we've surveyed everyone, we've surveyed our employees. I mentioned the town halls that we're doing to get feedback. Um, what I hear and our thought process as an executive team is to err on the side of flexibility and empower our people with choice, right? And what I've heard, and this is where I think, from the D&I perspective, from a perspective of COVID and work from home and future of work, so many of these things are individualized, down to a person's particular, circumstance. Could be, both them, their family, other obligations that they have, um, their risk profile. How do they think about risk and then I think also just their personality, introverted, extroverted, all those things that come into play here. Our position back to our employees is we want to offer choice, flexibility and choice first. And what we see predominantly in that survey data is most people, I think it was 80% plus, and I don't remember the exact stat, but I know it was above 80% plus of our employees will be working from home or remotely more frequently. We believe that to be true. Um, the second element that I would say is we still, though, have a group of our employees who want to come into an office. And those reasons vary, right? Could be, their home situation. We have, early in career employees that live in and around metropolitan cities. Their room, they're sharing rent or they're rooming with somebody, and it's not effective for three or four of them to be, in a New York City apartment all day working together. And so we want to again offer that flexibility to our employees and say, everybody's circumstance is going to be a little bit different. Here are some parameters we could set out around, dedicated space versus shared. But overall, I think it's going to be a predominantly more remote workforce in the future for us.